Hey guys, my name is Cruz, and today I am bringing you a Barbarian class starter guide. I have leveled 6 Barbarians in the open betas, and also played a lot in the closed beta. The goal of this video is to teach you everything that you need to know to have a strong start as a Barbarian. The Barbarian is an explosive melee class that brings both big damage and high utility. In this guide, we will look at some starting strategies to quickly increase your character power, as well as a very strong leveling build to get you started. At the end, we'll also cover a few in-game builds for the Barbarian to give you some ideas on how to build your character as you progress through the game. Barbarian currently has several good starting builds. However, for me personally, I'm going to be playing Bleed Barb, at least until I get into World Tier 3. Flay is by far the strongest basic skill Barbarian has, as it brings the highest damage, while also bringing a nice Thorns buff, the ability to apply Vulnerable, and a 12% damage reduction. You see a similar pattern in the core skills with Rend, where it is the highest damaging ability while also bringing in a nice refund for its Fury cost, leading to Rend being both the cheapest and the highest damage option from your core skills. The main downside of these abilities is that the bleed damage cannot crit. However, this gets resolved when we unlock the keystone talent, Gushing Wounds. As you level up and unlock the defensive skills, I suggest that you take Tactical Rallying Cry and Tactical Iron Scan. For brawling skills, you should either take Power War Cry for more damage or Power Leap for more mobility. Finally, when you get to the weapon mastery skills, I suggest that you take Fighter Steel Grasp. Remember that your Rend can permanently extend the vulnerable debuff from Steel Grasp, and your Bleed Snapshot Berserking on application. Make sure that you are upgrading your potion whenever you can. This build struggles with self-healing, but upgrading your potion will be a game changer. Next, we're going to talk about some easy to obtain legendary aspects that will give you a significant power increase. If you didn't know, you can unlock aspects for your Codex of Power by clearing specific dungeons, and then put those aspects onto gear to gain their legendary effects. The Slacking aspect can be earned by clearing Nostrava Deepwood and Fractured Peaks. This aspect gives a chance on hit to refund Fury from your Rend. This provides decent Fury generation in single target, while also providing solid Fury generation in AoE. Single target boss fights are very important for progressing the campaign and for clearing the capstone dungeon, so make sure to pick this one up early. Aspect of Echoing Fury represents the bread and butter of almost all Barbarian builds. It is unlocked from the Sunken Ruins in Skazglen and gives us an honestly ridiculous amount of Fury per second. It stacks with each shout that you use up to 3 times with all of our shouts running and gives up to 12 Fury per second. If you can find a Bold Chieftain's aspect, this build becomes even more powerful, as the goal is to ultimately get to 100% uptime on all shouts. Aspect of the Protector is unlocked from the Lost Archives and Fractured Peaks, and it gives us a barrier once every 30 seconds while fighting elites. This aspect is great as we can get it in Act 1, and it gives us extra defensives in exactly the encounters where we need extra defensives. The barrier this aspect provides effectively acts as life regen in extended fights, making it so much easier to get through long boss fights. This is something Barbarian really struggles with without this power, so make sure to pick it up as soon as you can. For our stat priority, we want to pick up as much vulnerable damage and increased ranks of Rend as possible. These are by far our best DPS stats. After that, look for damage to close, damage to slowed, and damage to crowd controlled. Slowed and crowd controlled are both procced by our passive that slows bleeding enemies. Next, let's talk about some permanent account buffs you can pick up as you progress through the game. Specifically, Renown and Lilith statues. Renown is earned for each zone, and as you progress your Renown, you will earn permanent skill points, extra health potions, and even Paragon points. You can earn Renown by doing quests, clearing strongholds, and much more. Lilith statues can be found all over the world and offer permanent bonus stats. Make sure to travel around the world and pick these up sometime around going into World Tier 3. Finally, let's talk about some of Barbarian's best in-game builds that you could look to transition into as you develop your character. Whirlwind offers incredible AoE damage as well as an impressive amount of utility. The aspect of Grasping Whirlwind is a wonderful aspect, and you will likely see the group meta develop around this power. This aspect causes Whirlwind to constantly pull in nearby enemies, which allows you to easily move and group them. Gore's Devastating Grips is a powerful unique that causes your Whirlwind to explode when you stop channeling it. It does AoE damage equal to the base damage dealt while channeling your Whirlwind. Deathblow is my second favorite in-game build, and it makes use of the same utility as Whirlwind. It even goes so far as to bring the aspect of Grasping Whirlwind as a way to both spend Fury and group enemies. The setup's damage comes from a couple of powerful synergies to get massive hits from Deathblow. Of particular importance is the aspect of Encroaching Wrath, which will increase the damage of Deathblow by up to 200% after spending 100 Fury. The gameplay loop of using Whirlwind to group up mobs while stacking the aspect of Encroaching Wrath, and then killing them with a massive Deathblow sounds like so much fun. That's all I've got for you today. If you enjoyed the video, please drop a like and a sub, and thank you for watching.